It's been a struggle for Cape Townians for many years now, the fight for affordable housing and an affordable life in inner city Cape Town. For Gabriel Claassen, who's come from the outskirts of the city, it's a problem built on a historical divide of race and class.
In South Africa, in Cape Town specifically, we can see a very clear kind of marking of segregation even 30 years after democracy, where black and coloured people are still living in the periphery of the city.
In a city that saw 2.8 million tourists arriving at its airport in 1 year alone, and which attracts foreign companies and digital nomads, social justice groups say Cape Town is failing to provide for its own.
In the CBD, we've got a lot of gentrification in terms of fancy coffee shops, Airbnbs, but then we've also got your businesses, your informal traders, and your government buildings, and some more up the hill on the basis you've got historically white areas where the rent is even too expensive for white people to afford at this stage.
To get a glimpse of the outskirts, we pick up Gabriel in his home area of the Cape Flats, around 20 kilometers from the city centre. The Cape Flats have become infamous for their high crime rate and lack of opportunities. Formed in the 1950s, they were a result of an apartheid-era law, the Group Areas Act, which forced people of colour out of mixed city neighbourhoods to racially segregated areas. Back in the city, District 6, a place where Gabriel believes his great-grandfather might have lived or worked, is one of the main inner city sites of forced removal.
This is the CBD, it's a central business district. It is where opportunities are, social and economic opportunities are, and coloured, black people, just people of colour were moved from this space forcibly to right over there, left with zero water, sanitation options, not decent housing. And so people's entire livelihoods were uprooted in one night.
Unlike Gabriel, activist and filmmaker Jordan Peters has managed to stay in the city. Salt River, where she lives, is an old industrial neighborhood and on the city's list for upgrading.
This is a city that is so integral to who I am as a person, and people see it as a tourist destination. And so I think the politicization comes in when you realize actually this doesn't make sense.
The small surplus radical bookstore in a neighboring suburb is one of the few places that Jordan feels she and other activists can meet, organize and freely exchange views. And while young Cape Townians like Jordan and Gabriel are trying to make sense of it all, they, together with other locals, continue to push for inclusion in a city that they call home.